And we are live. Welcome to Eaglerun23. Got a couple of people here in the chat already. Fantastic to see you guys. Impromptu live stream, talking with a couple of buddies about a couple different things. And I decided that I was kind of home alone this evening. We should just do a little Q&A. I do have a couple of topics for us, and I also have two fantastic guests for us as well. And we're going to talk, number one, we're going to talk about some painting of some rifles. We are also going to talk about the next build project that's coming up on the channel. I posted there's a couple of videos coming up this week that give you some ideas about what some of the possibilities are. I'm excited about that. Make sure you head over to Eaglerun23.com and grab your stickers. We have a limited number of stickers. I'm doing those just for fun to see if there is a need for some Eaglerun23 stickers in your life. And if there is, you can grab them and put them on your water bottle. There's going to be some patches coming soon. I don't have patches yet, but I think that is most of the house cleaning. We'll say hey to G23. MC is going to be joining us, the world premiere of Mr. MC. DKCA. I need to find out what that stands for. DKCA. Always in the chats. Good to see you, brother. And who else is over there? Dale. What's up, Dale? Okay. So first, let's pop over here. Welcome to the channel, Mr. MC. Oh, no. His screen is blank. There he is. How are you, man?
Good evening, everyone.
Are you covered up in snow?
Oh, looks
I
like
got a little bit of an echo from you there. Are you
not
covered up in snow?
Hey,
okay.
Hey, there we go.
All right. Did it clear up for us?
Not at the moment.
Okay, so you got no snow, or no, you have lots of snow,
yeah,
and we might have a little bit of an echo from you. Might be a little glitchy. We'll see if it clears up here, MC. Yeah, it looks like it's just kind of glitching a little bit. We'll play with it and see what we think. Curtis K is here. DK is, it's his initials, and then, where'd it go? There it is. Oh, and the CA is for California. Okay. DKCA. And Curtis K is here. 2 Live Moo is in the chat, and he is also here on the stream joining us. Welcome, everybody. Mr. Moo from the 2 Live Moo. Looks like you got switched over to the PC. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Just in time.
How you guys doing?
All right.
I don't have any snow either. I don't have any snow.
I don't know where you are. Where are you?
Not too far from MC. I'm in West Michigan, near Grand Haven, Michigan.
Okay.
Right on the lake shore.
My Michigan geography is really terrible.
I'll get you. Here's the map. We're right up there.
Okay. I only
know whenever use that map of the body parts when you're describing Florida.
That would be Massachusetts.
It's a different one. How do they do the state of Texas? I don't know.
I don't know. We're handy.
So DK says, how are the gun laws in Michigan?
Well, they used to be pretty good. They're going down the drain, I think, a little bit. But
they used to be pretty good.
Yeah. Now they're still pretty good. There's just a lot of legislation going on right now. And our governor, Bruce Jenner, is running things down the drain, man.
Wait, who's the governor of Michigan?
Gretchen Whitmer, but she looks like Caitlyn Jenner.
Gotcha. Okay. I only know about. Oh no, we lost MC.
It's probably because he was laughing too hard at my joke.
Gretchen came to get you, MC. She's almost kicked you out of the stream. So the only way I know about Michigan and Gretchen Whitmer is just from watching like Louder with Crowder. That's all I know about her. But I every once in a while I'll see something on Twitter how they're doing.
Yeah, they got a lot of like red flag laws coming up and all the kinds of different things, and I don't know. It's upsetting.
Good evening, Burnaby Sanchez. Good evening, sir. Okay, so whenever people talk about red flag laws, I think there's a lot of like sensible people who have bought into this red flag law thing, and they don't seem to understand that it really is the whole slippery slope argument. And people are like, oh, you can't argue slippery slope because it grasps too much at nothingness in order to make that argument. But the other side, when you have like pretty staunchly conservative people, they say that the red flag laws are like, if a Republican supports a red flag law, then it turns into like this the Rhino Republican or whatever immediately when they start talking about red flag law. So it's a really interesting topic, the whole red flag law thing.
Yeah, it just sets you up for too many. I mean, look at what was the guy was in Pennsylvania that got shot dead because he got a red flag law and they came to raid his house or whatever. Is that Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think it was Pennsylvania. And there's also been like, wasn't there some doctor who like wrote some note on something and then the guy ended up getting, guns taken away or whatever. Yeah, it's just because, here it is right here. This is the whole point of it right here. And this is what I was trying to say, DK. It totally subdues and takes away your due process. And that really is the foundation of law and the court process. And I think a lot of people just kind of like people who aren't really going to like dig in and fight for it. They're just going to be like, well, the red flag laws allow you to say, hey, something's not right here. Someone else should look into this. And I guess I can see how people think that might be a good idea, but they don't ever think about where does it run to, like what's the end of this? Like, can I just simply, snitch on my neighbor because I don't like him? And then he has his guns taken away. Like I think they don't think about the whole thing. And that's the unfortunate part about it. Cause yeah, we would like for there to be something where we can be like, hey, I saw something weird about this guy. And then he turns up later being a bad guy. And you're like, I knew it. I wish I could have done something about it. We need red flag laws.
Yeah, they're BS.
Yeah.
It's like, putting a PPO out on somebody that, doesn't deserve it or whatever. Kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have a good justice system, but it definitely has its problems and its shortcomings. But let's see. Burnaby has a note here. Another person defended themselves as being. Oh, the NY has another person that defended themselves and is being prosecuted. Man. The problem with dealing with firearms is the Dems and others have proven time after time that giving them an edge, they take 2 miles. Well, that's certainly true. It's hard to. Are you back, MC? Is it working? Let me see if I can unmute him. Okay, you muted yourself. It won't let me unmute you.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, I shut the camera down for a little bit to see if that would level out the stream.
Okay.
Give it a try with the camera up.
All right, good deal. So we're trying to get caught up here on these red flag laws. How many times in California have they grandfathered stuff like a couple years ago, the ban with an outright ban? Yeah. That's the interesting part too. Like there's been a lot of conversation about the pistol brace thing, and they didn't ban it. They just did this, this weird thing about it, like about how you just can no longer have them, but they're not illegal to have. You just can't have them installed. Like that's a really interesting take about that as well. It's just really weird how they want to do that, because typically they say, hey, you can't sell them anymore, and then it's grandfathered in. But
yeah, my local gun shops are not even touching anything with a pistol brace on it at the moment.
No one is. Yeah. PA Reloader, what is up? Yeah. So, I mean, I'm currently waiting on my, like, I haven't put together my 8.6 Blackout. That's the 8-inch version.
Right.
I haven't even put it together yet because I may have to SBR it or something. I don't know. Like, I should have SBR'd it 6 months ago, but
Yeah.
I got to wait now. It's not worth doing it now.
No, you're still waiting on that suppressor to clear then, right?
I have a suppressor that's been in for coming up on 10 months in April.
Oh, wow. And you're in Texas, the supposedly build it, keep it here, stay out of our business state.
Man, that's a whole nother thing. I want to be like, screw it and just make my own, but I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. Adventure Technologies. He loves his 8-inch. I've shot an 8-inch several times because my good buddy Carl has an 8-inch. Shot it just last week. It doesn't feel really any different other than just the maneuverability. His 8-inch with his suppressor is about the same as my 16. So
Okay.
So where are you at on your? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say the 22 caliber can that I've got on this rifle, or actually it's a pistol. Well, it's a pistol today. It's probably a felony next month.
Ish.
That one took me 9 months to clear. That I just got that one a couple of weeks ago, and then this one. That one was a paper form 4. That's a 30 caliber can. That one took 13 months to clear. So going to the tracker on the how long the form 4s take, it looks like they're putting all of their effort into scooping up all of the pistol brace applications right now, and not really processing out the form 4s. For the suppressors. That seems to be running about 9 months.
Well, I hope to every day. I'm like, or every week, I'm like, man, maybe this will be the week. I'll go get it. I'm ready for it. I've shot it because I can shoot it at the range. So I have shot it a couple of times, but not very much. Okay, so yeah, he's loving his 8-inch, and then this is a thing too. These micro pistol conversions. I saw last week that the one that fits the polymer 80s. They had them on sale for $39.
Huh.
They were like $179 or something. And it only fits P80s. It'll fit the 17 or the 19 size. And that's super fascinating. It's almost like, should I buy one or should I buy two? They're kind of realistically, they're kind of a useless thing. Probably more of a range toy than anything that's actually applicable. Hey, Chris is here. What's up, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't gotten into any of the 9mm P80s yet. I've got the 45, the PF45s, and I started with 380 ACP. I skipped 9mm and just jumped right to 10. And so that's gotten me by for 20 years. And now I finally backtracked and picked up a couple of 9mm.
So I know you and I are into a lot of the same things, MC. I can tell by your wall, though, just you having the vintage firearm back there behind you. I have nothing vintage.
Okay.
I potentially, my family has some stuff that my parents are holding on to right now. That there's a 30-30 lever action that I got my eyeball on that I would love to see. A side-by-side shotgun, but I don't have any like vintage military stuff. Even like my AK is like a Wasser parts kit one, from the 80s. So it's I don't have anything vintage or old or cool. I kind of like the new stuff.
Yeah, and that one hanging on the wall, I'll have to do a review on that. That's a Enfield Make 4 303 British. And all of the numbers are all stamped with the same serial number that matches the receiver. So it's pretty much a complete gun. Usually you find those where the hardware or the wood's been swapped out because they've been through an armorer and they've pieced them back together. And I've got the bayonet to match with that one as well. So that's one my dad had collected decades ago, and just ended up hanging out in my place.
Can you buy ammo for that, or it's 30 carbine, right?
That one's 303 British. So yeah, you
303
can actually
British.
buy ammo for it. And Midway had a closeout. I picked up, I think, 500 brass or 500 nickel cartridges 20 plus years ago, and sitting on those still.
So you got plenty to plink with.
Oh yeah, yeah. And with those rifles, they did not come with the soft butt pads. Those came with brass stocks, a brass plate on the stock.
Back when
So
men
after
were
you
men.
run about 30 rounds of a 30 caliber with a brass butt plate jamming into your collarbone,
Yeah,
you know, the guys that shot those back in the day were real guys.
those were men.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually got rid of my 30-06 because it made me mad after shooting about 6 or 7 rounds in a row through it. I'm like, I'm out. Let's get rid of sell it. One of a small handful of guns. I can count on one hand how many guns I've sold. And only one of them I want back, and it was not the 30-06. So, Two Life Moo, I do not know what you're into. What guns are you into?
Oh, I have, some AR configuration type things. And
Are you a builder?
Well, the assembler, I guess you would call it, right?
Okay.
Because I've never built an upper. I've always bought an upper, but I put together several lowers, lower kits, stuff like that. I have some shotguns. I'm an avid waterfowler, deer hunter, plinker. I've got some 22s. Shoot a few varmints here and there. Deer rifles. I got an old 30-30 that's slaying a few deer. I've got some muzzle loaders. I got 3 pistols, and I don't have a rifle anymore. I used to have a couple of muzzleloader rifles. I'm into archery. I've got several bows.
Wow.
I deer hunted with bow and arrow for 20 years before I even got into gun hunting for deer.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So that was your gateway drug.
It was my dad's fault. He doesn't like hunting with guns. So we shot archery league for years. I won archery league in his league. You know, he was always like, that's my boy, you know? And so got way into that. And, I've got a recurve. I got a crossbow. I've got a couple compound bows. Got my kids into archery. Got my kids into shooting. Got 2 kids. They're adults now. They love to shoot. Got a lot of handguns. I'm a big revolver fan. I've got several revolvers. I got a lot of autoloaders. No, I have no NFA items until the end of May.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good stuff.
And we've got actually, since we live so close together to Moo, we've the Sportsman's Club I'm in. We've got a informal sporting clays shoot coming up in 2 weeks. So hope to get a camera out there and get some footage of me and Moo blasting some clays, or at least shooting at clays. I don't know how well the breaking is going to go.
Yeah, man. I would be so embarrassed. I haven't shot clays in a couple of years. My wife is a way better shot than me when it comes to clays. When it comes to ducks and geese, I pull the trigger, they fall down. When I shoot clays, I don't know what it is. It's maybe a bat 500 when I'm shooting clays.
Yeah.
Well, that's the miracle of editing and putting the information you want out there. So we can cut and paste and copy anything.
Cut that out. You missed. You missed.
But yeah, I've been Yeah, I mean, I've been pheasant hunting, duck hunting, goose, pheasant and grouse, out in Montana. I don't know, a little bit of shotgunning, more deer than birds.
DK got himself upland, yeah. He got himself a silver Labrador. Are you going to hunt that beautiful silver Labrador? 9 weeks old, sitting with me right now.
Nice.
Maybe he's got a picture on DKCA Instagram for us to see. I've always had Vizslas. I don't know if anyone has heard of the dog breed called Vizsla. It's Vizsla.
I've heard of them. I don't remember.
Man, I'll never have another breed. I don't hunt the ones that I have. I've had some that I rescued or that were rehomed that were hunting certified with like different challenge trainings. I have two right now, an old one and a young one. The old one is currently afraid of guns altogether, and the pup that I've got that's just about 1.5 now. She has not been out yet, but I'll take her out a little bit. So I'm originally from Kansas, and so hunting for me was always bird. Like, hey, are you a hunter? Yeah, it's pheasant and quail almost exclusively. I had a couple of buddies that would deer hunt, and I even had a neighbor who was a deer hunter and was into the archery stuff. But being from Kansas, where there's no water, like I would have loved to have hunted duck when I was younger, but there's just no water in Kansas, so we would have had to travel to hunt ducks. Allegedly, you can hunt some geese in some fields and stuff like that because they'll pop down and eat. But I've heard of that being done. I've never seen it or done it myself. And then the whole like fishing thing, Burnaby's talking about fishing over here. Like, there's no water in Kansas. I didn't grow up fishing either. Like, I could drive a combine though. Like, I could drive a tractor when I was real little, but no fishing. And then I moved to Texas coming up on 25 years ago. And everyone here's like, oh, are you a hunter? And I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, I realize, oh, I don't hunt the same thing you hunt. Like, I'm not a deer hunter. So when I first moved here, I went deer hunting a little bit with a couple buddies. And I've only shot to this day a couple deer. Like, I'm not really a deer hunter. But the pigs, I do like shooting the pigs. I do.
I haven't done that yet. So
yeah. Well, they're on my property. I have pigs on my property.
I've got some friends down that are north of Austin. They're like, come and stay at my house and bring as much ammo as you can carry. Like, well,
I don't have that many pigs.
Do with those pigs when you shoot it? He goes, let them lay.
Yeah, we just haul them off. We have a spot where we haul them off, and then we have an agreement with the coyotes that we don't shoot the coyotes, and then they.
He goes, they're nasty. It's not like what you see on the programs. He's like, you're not going to cut the, you're not going to butcher them up. He goes, they're just so nasty. And
most of them are real gross. Like, you barely want to touch them to even haul them off.
Yeah, and plus he's like, they're so pissed off at him because he has a dairy farm, and they're like ruining the whole fields and the fences that the cows get out, and he's just a nuisance. So he's like,
he's hunting out of anger.
Yeah.
He's pulling that trigger with intent.
He's like, we have a guest house on the property. It's all yours. Bring as many buddies as you want. Come and blast away.
Okay, I'll meet you there, Moo. Don't have to twist my arm.
Night optics or day optics? I mean, they're mostly nocturnal, aren't they? Or are they everywhere?
He says, bring what you got.
Yeah.
Because I was the same way. I'm like, oh, do I have to get night optics or something? Because I don't have $4,000 to put up optic on my gun,
Right.
And he's like, I don't care.
I don't have night optics. I just dusk and dawn, man. You can see them.
Yeah.
The quality optics. I do have a green light mounted that'll go out about 100 yards. I got a really nice green light that shoots out. They don't seem to mind. Every once in a while, you'll see one get spooked by a green light, but for the most part, they don't care. If you're 75, 80 yards away, they don't care if there's a light. My buddy who kind of looks after the property there, he's actually swapped out all the lights on his little UTV. He's got green headlights. green spotlights. The whole thing looks like a alien spaceship coming over the hill whenever he comes up. I was in the deer blind with my son. That was in the little hunting vlog we did. And he'd been texting me for a week and saying, hey, you said you're coming up this weekend. Here's a shot from the trail cam. And they were there all day and night. And my son and I show up and we hunt a night and a morning, which is all the time we had. And we didn't see nothing. But he popped up on us like 10 or 11 p.m. in that green spaceship and took us out and drove us around. We saw some other stuff, but we didn't see any hogs. Saw some deer that next morning, but it wasn't quite deer season. And so...
Yeah,
anyway.
I've never been angry hunting deer.
Yeah,
maybe,
exactly.
Maybe one time, but no, but normally no.
If they've been ducking you for a little while and then you see one, you might be a little angry.
Yeah, and we're pretty spoiled here in Michigan. I mean, we've got large lakes all around us. We've got inland lakes. We've got rivers. You know, there's irrigation ponds for orchards and fields, and you know, there's so much water around here. There's, you know, any number of species you can go. If you're not into deer hunting, there's a ton of fish. Pheasants, not so much, but wild turkey are coming back. There's a lot more turkey around now than there have been 30 years ago.
Yeah, man. When I was a kid back in the early 80s, man, we had quite a few pheasants, and then they took a dive and they introduced those the Szechuan pheasants or something like that, and then they're weird and smaller, and I don't know. It was a failed attempt from the DNR, but yeah, the grouse aren't too bad, but yeah, pheasants used to be the good thing. I had a pheasant eaten out of my bird feeder the other day.
Nice.
There's dove in my front oak tree right by the front door. And about every third time you open the door, you hear that from the dove. Mm-hmm. And it's usually I just fake, you know, and pull up on one. Because typically I don't walk outside with my shotgun, right? So but it's funny to me that like here I am 25 years later, like 25 years ago in high school, I would have loved to have some dove in my front yard. They wouldn't still be there, but meanwhile, this dove's just living his best life in my tree, and I just have to fake shoot him every morning.
Yeah, and that's one
dove hunting spicy.
Yeah, dove hunting is not legal in Michigan, believe it or not. That's one critter we can't shoot at.
That sound when they take off, that is just it's one of nature's best sounds. Love it.
Yep.
Well, just like a grouse or a woodcock will scare the shit out of you. Because you almost step on it, you know?
Dumb. He says, what does he say? Grouse. Dumb, wild chicken, good eating. Yes.
Good eats.
The thing, like pheasant, like you get a couple pheasant, you can feed a couple people, but you got to shoot a wheelbarrow full of dove to feed 3 guys.
Yeah, each one's like this big.
Yeah, 2 bites.
Yeah, it's about like squirrels.
A lot of work.
Yeah, you need about 5 squirrels as a minimum to make a meal out of them.
That's why I like that's why I like goose hunting, because I mean we shot 100 geese last year and we got goose coming out of our ears, man. I mean, and we just breast them out. We don't mess with.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no meat on their legs or their wings or anything, so it's not that that we're wasting anything. I mean, you could pluck them and all that stuff, but it's not like a domestic goose. All their meat is in the breast.
Yeah.
Well, the issue I take with the geese is I work in the industrial HVAC and we build wastewater plants.
Oh,
and the majority of those ponds are full of geese.
In the shit ponds, man.
Shit ponds.
Pardon my French, Eaglerun. Sorry. Oh yeah, we've hunted over those before.
There's a documentary somewhere on YouTube of a piece of water somewhere in the Pacific Northwest that they, for whatever reason, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, for whatever reason, they can't allow the ducks or geese or anything, no waterfowl are allowed to land on it. And so there's literally a dude with a tripod 24/7 that all he has to do is shoot at them. And it's funny because he's a federal employee. He's an employee of like the parks or the BLM or something, and his job is, and he was going through like, okay, I use this gun for this, and I use this, and he's got all these tripods set up so he can switch between different guns. I need to find that and watch that again. That was years ago, and I'm like, this dude's job is to just shoot. That's good gig right there. There's like 3 or 4 of them, and they just rotate 24-hour shifts.
DJ Play Nice is saying he's got some peacocks strutting around his neighborhood. About an hour and a half north of us, up Manistee area, there's wild peacocks running around that area. We did a job up there, probably 10, 15 years ago now, and a few of the construction workers left their windows open on their work trucks, and they found, peacocks had walked their way into the truck and left a little surprise for them on the seat. And they can be annoying. I don't know how they taste. Have not tried that yet.
So Kurt and Miles have found me out here. Okay, so it's now you're reminding me. It's because the water is radioactive, and that's why they can't let them on there. You are correct. And Miles posted a link to the article, and it says man spends his day warding off birds, but as I recall, there's a female who shoots as well, and there's like 3 or 4 or 5 of them that just rotate 24/7, and they've got all the binoculars and spotters, and they've got sensors that go off whenever birds are coming in. Pretty funny. Department of the Interior Bird Sniper, sign me up. Birdman.
And then they pay for your ammo. I'd be shooting
That's
like
the thing right there.
All the time.
Shooting that government ammo.
Well, I have some clay throwers and stuff out there. I saw a bunch of birds, man.
Yeah, sorry. So you guys were talking about clays earlier. I didn't get to say this, but man, one of life's pure pleasures is shooting clays to me. Like, I find that top 10. Some people want to be on a beach or in a hammock or something like that. Like, if someone would just throw clays for me and I could like go in the backyard and like just do that whenever I felt like it, like that would be amazing. Like just someone just throwing softballs at you and you're just like whacking them out. I mean, it's just that's a pleasure for me.
Like a batting cage.
Yeah, we've got several places around that have high towers, small towers. Our sporting clay is set up. We've got 5 electric throwers, and they're set out like in little calf hutches or little dog houses. And so they'll toss towards you, away from you, angling, rising. We've got a rabbit thrower, which will take a relatively hard clay and then throw that across the ground. So it'll roll until it hits something and then bounce and skip. And yeah, those are very challenging.
Allegedly across the street from me here, across the highway, there's a spot that does some clay stuff, and I've heard people talk about it, but I've just never had time to go over there. I need to get an excuse to go do that because I guess I could just pay to go in there and have someone throw clays for me, and that would be nearly as enjoyable as having, my wife throw clays for me. So my wife and I, we dated in high school, and she pulled clays for me all the time in high school.
Yeah.
Just the two of us would go out there and shoot clay. She's never shot anything that I know of, but she's not.
Well, like with rifles and pistols, you want to get the shotgun out and do a little experimenting with the choke tubes and get an idea of what the pattern is going to be at what distance. If you've got a full choke and things are scooting pretty close to you, you've got to be right spot on or you're not going to hit them. And when you do hit them with a full choke, you just powderize them. That's impressive. But if they're out there 30, 40 yards and you're running an improved cylinder, the odds of dusting the thing it gets less and less. So this little project I got going on right here on the bench, that one is an old Charles Daly 12-gauge semi-automatic that I inherited. And you wanted to talk about painting guns. Well, that one was just a black synthetic stock. Served a really hard life from previous owner. And so this one I'm doing a little repurposing, just going to try to go with a snow pattern camouflage job on it. And we're just using the regular Rust-Oleum farmer can spray paint and the painter's tape.
Okay.
Doing kind of a random pattern on it. And I started out with a Scotch pad, scuffed up the plastic, scuffed up the steel, degreased everything. then with a white base coat, laid some tape in different patterns over top of the white, let that dry a day, put a off-white or a light gray on that. That's where it sits right now. The blue you can see on the gun is masking off for the darker gray that's going to go over top of that, and then I'll mask it again, and then I'll lay black over top of that. And so we'll see how it goes. I've got less than 2 weeks or so now to get the gun put together, to drag it out, do some shooting, and see which choke tube I need to throw in, and that'll make its debut at our Sporting Clays event coming up.
Are you videoing your filming of your spray painting of the gun?
Yes, yep. So 7 o'clock, I think tomorrow morning, there's going to be a video drop of the first prep, and then I'm kind of doing a series on that. So I've got Monday, Tuesday already scheduled out, and then what I'm going to do, running out of time tonight because I found something else to preoccupy my time at 9:30 p.m. So what I would have otherwise been doing is continuing on with the masking job. Tomorrow after work, before we do a gun club meeting, I'll throw another coat of paint and I'll videotape that, and then that'll probably be Wednesday's video that drops at 7 o'clock. And so
let's keep talking about painting. Let me catch up on a couple of it looks like to catch up on a couple of chats here. PA says he shoots every Sunday, and your name says he has a night skeet shoot on Wednesdays. Night skeet shoot sounds good. And then DK, my wife is a gem. She tolerates my firearms. She never asks how they multiply in the garage. And my excuse is I found one spring or one grip or one trigger, and that's the start of a whole new gun. And that's just how it is for me, because a leftover part begot the next gun.
For sure.
So she doesn't care and is fully supportive, but she doesn't have a carry. She's never shot anything. I need to probably get her to shoot something. Now, my daughter, on the other hand, is way into firearms. Contractor 556 is a new subscriber. Him and I were exchanging some messages earlier. I think he's trying to convince me on what build I should do next. Hang out here, Contractor 556, because we're coming back to that topic here in just a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna have to cough here. Okay, so the painting, I cut my own out of painter's tape, and I cut all my own little stencils out, and I did what is, I think, a really good camo pattern that I can't think of the name right now, but I did the upper and lower, and I taped them together, and I had they go over each other, so they fit together, and the pattern is on the top and the bottom.
Nice.
And Rattle Can has held up really well. I think I did that 5 or 6 years ago. I don't use that gun a ton, but it does get used, and I'm perfectly satisfied with how well the Rattle Can has held up. So Freedom Stencils, I reached out to those guys and ordered in some different patterns, and I want to do a Glock slide, and then I want to do I've got a lower in the raw. I'll show you just this piece of it right here. You can see it's in the raw, and so it has no coating, no anodizing. I want to try to scuff that up and see if I can paint an upper and lower again and use these stencils. And I think I'm just going to use, like what you're using, just Rust-Oleum. But I heard someone say that the enamel model paints are pretty good, but they're kind of designed for plastic. So I don't know if that's a good idea. I did also paint another gun with the Alumahide from Brownells, and that stuff is really thick. It's been quite durable, but it's real thick. And I don't think it would work on the Glock slide that I'm going to do, but it might work on a handguard or something, where there's no fitment issues of anything going together. You could always scratch a little off if you need to get an M-lock in there or something and it's not quite going. I think there's probably enough tolerance for paint with the M-lock system, but anyway. Rust-Oleum.
DK mentioned the Cerakote, and that probably will be the next adventure I get into. But for now, for a $200 Turkish import shotgun that I inherited.
Yeah.
That the only expense I've got into it is about $30 worth of spray paint. Yeah, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I've used
Have you
the Duracoat and the Wheeler ceramic coat.
Okay.
And I've had issues with both of them, and I cleaned the piss out of them, and I still have some chipping, from the gun safe, but.
So it looks like the air cured Cerakote MC, unless you have an oven. Interesting.
I used the oven. My wife was not pleased.
I was watching some video came on after I was watching something earlier today, and there's this guy rinsing out his brass cases that he just tumbled with the steel pins, and he's like in the kitchen, and I'm like, oh, see, that's where Mrs. Eaglerun would have a problem right there. Do not rinse out your brass in my kitchen. I'd have to do that when she's not home. I've seen guys who pick up ovens off the side of the road though, just for having in the garage to dry stuff, either reloading for brass cases. You can dry them in the oven, or
I've helped a buddy build a hot bluing tank and burners and fire, and that's right up my alley. That's second nature. In fact, tomorrow I get to go tear into a 12 million BTU boiler. So fire and heat, that's not a problem.
Well, there's an interesting idea. Little mesquite cured.
Hey, there you go. Slab a steel head and get your upper baked.
That's right. So do you use mustard as a binder for that, or I don't know how that would go.
I'm into barbecue too, so I know what you're saying.
I just do I've got a pellet smoker, the Pit Boss. I love it. I've had it for about 2 years now. We use it weekly.
Yep.
I know there's better out there, but I don't think if I had to manage my own fire, I wouldn't be smoking once a week.
Well, I used to have a stick burner offset, and a tree killed it. A tree fell down in my yard and killed it. I've got a Weber Performer, and now I've got a Pit Boss that I've had for like 2 years, and I use the crap out of that thing. I used it yesterday. The kids were home, and it's like an easy bake oven, man.
Yeah, it's like exactly.
Set it and forget it.
DK is going to send you some FDE and gray Cerakote MC.
Yeah, I know a couple of local guys that do that. Also, another what I did for the daughter's gun. Let's see if we can get that on here. Oh, probably not going to show up too well. The blue one up on the top, that one is hydro dipped, and so that's a blue and white raindrop pattern. So
so that you misted the water on and then hit it at the angle type thing?
No, it's they actually have several patterns, several different dips, I guess. It's like a window film. You throw that in a water bath and then do a release on it. So it was just a particular pattern that we picked out. I kind of blindsided her. I just showed her a screenshot of hundreds of different patterns, and hey, pick out the one you like. And so she went with the blue with the white raindrop. It looks like water droplets on a window screen. Didn't tell her what it was for, and so it was like her 13th birthday. I got a Ruger American, so a bolt action 22 rimfire. But the American, it's got the replaceable buttstock on it, so you can have a tall comb or a low comb, and then a long stock or a short stock. So being 13 and is a training gun, kind of like what you're doing with the Ruger Precision, it was a gun that was bolt action, so it was controllable. It was 22, so it's not loud and scary, and then it's the pattern that she had picked out. So she's coming up on 22 years old now, so it's it's had a few rounds through it. And but with the hydro dip process, I tried because it was a local vendor that was doing it right out of Muskegon. I tried setting up a date where I could bring my daughter out there and actually watch her gun get dipped and see part of the process, but it just didn't work out.
You can DIY hydro dip too, I think, with some of that stuff.
Yep, I've seen that. I've seen the DIY with spray paint, and
Yeah.
there's a talent to it, and I would rather pay somebody that does that for a living versus having to strip them 2 or 3 times doing it myself.
Okay, so we got to vote for Applewood. Pecan makes the best barbecue. PA Reloader wants to know if you can smoke a brisket and the Cerakote at the same time. Let's go ahead and go with no on that.
No.
Contractor 556 is, instead of ham and turkey this Easter, he's smoking some brisket. Did brisket prices go down a little bit? The last one I bought was like $89.
That's what I've seen.
So how much are they where you are?
Oh, $15 a pound.
Yeah, that's about 15.
Yeah, I think these were 15 or so. I actually smoked a couple of chuck roasts. I saw some short or something on Instagram or something that was if you like, because I you want brisket every week, but it's probably not really the best financial decision. And so he said, smoke chuck roast, do it just like you do the brisket. And I did that a couple of times, enjoyed it. One of them came out really good.
Really good. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and then Kurt, listen, I totally agree. Like, I was watching MC when he's doing this stuff. His shop is phenomenal. In fact, I'm super jealous of how well that's turned out. I don't have a good space like that. I'm out here in the shop and I've got a little corner, and I've tried to kind of get this to where it looks good, but of course I didn't make it big enough. And so you got the wall, I don't, we're going to have to redo that. Maybe this summer.
And this was mostly lumber left over from the tractor barn that we built next door.
The barn, yeah.
Yeah. I've had several people ask, is that barn climate controlled? Do you have heating and air conditioning out in that barn? And I'm like, no, it's a barn. We're going to put tractors and hay bales and just equipment to keep it out of the weather. And they're like, all those guns are going to rust. I'm like, yeah, no, it's same wood, different location. No, yeah, we're fully secured here. It's a good vault room. It's it's going to take some effort to drive the battle wagon through the wall to get into this place.
So those are DK. That's just the barn wood that he used to I guess sheathe his barn. There's the equipment barn.
Yeah, they're just half inch, or they started out about 3/4 inch thick, rough sawn pine, 10 or 12 inch wide boards. And then these I think were 10 foot 4 links. And we picked up, I think, like 200 of these things to do the barn. Yeah, it was a 28 foot by 96 foot long barn.
96.
And so then these were some of the leftovers. Yeah, the neighbor guy around the corner that donated the trusses for my brother-in-law's barn, he ended up doing his entire inside he made a barn dominium. So he took the barn that was the existing barn, and then that's pretty slick. He's got the attic trusses in there now, built a loft, and then his whole inside is rough sawn pine like this. He did board and batten though. So where mine, the boards have shrunk, so they've got the little gaps in between those, and that's kind of the look that I wanted. And but the neighbor, he ended up putting the batten boards over top of it just to cover it up. And I wanted to go horizontal boards with these just to make the display pop. And then the hooks actually are Home Depot. They're just rubber coated steel hooks that you would put your shovels or your yard equipment hang on the wall in the garage. So those were $7 to $9 a hook, something like that. So a lot cheaper than going with slat wall or, a lot of money.
I'd like to do. I need some more places to store some firearms. I am quickly running out of space, and unfortunately, they're like, most of them are 80s, so I can't sell them. Or even like I can't even give them away, like I kind of stuck with them because they don't have numbers on them, I guess. I guess that's its own problem. But I desperately need to upgrade and grow some spots to store some guns. We're crammed into a safe, and I feel bad pushing on that door because we're running out of room, and I have some ammo in there that I need to kick out so that I have some more space. But we're gonna have some
realistically,
major upgrades.
I mean, you could break your gun down to technically this is a gun,
Right?
Just your lower. So realistically, you take all those things that have no serial numbers on them, you throw them all in a Tupperware box, and they don't take up that much room.
Yeah.
So then you've got all the rest of the stuff. So yeah, I got a couple little. There's a Beretta 22. That one's the Shield Plus. This one I haven't decided if I want to build out yet or not. It's just, I don't know. I'd kind of feel bad scratching that one up because I'm a little abusive on my tools. And then Beretta Cheetah 95 or the 85 380 ACP.
380.
And then a little Glock 43. Oh, and then we got the black powder too. So you got to have one or two of those laying around.
I like how you're all displayed out. Like I've talked to a company that makes displays and the hangers and stuff where you do the slat walls, and someone just said I need to build a vault room. I do need to build a vault room, but I don't have another room in my house right now. And the way that so I have elementary age children, and so I can't. Maybe when I told my daughter when she goes to college, the moment she leaves for college, I'm turning her room into a vault room, and she was like, "No, is that what you're doing?"
When she left for college, this is her bedroom.
Oh,
every time
we like to recycle. I'm sorry.
Like, you son of a. She goes, "Get out of my room." I'm like, take these safes out of here. You can have it.
All of a sudden, there's the thumbprint ID on the door, and she's like, "How do I get into my room?" I'm like, that's not your room anymore.
Right now, with all the storms rolling through, it's a great time to go rent a backhoe, dig a hole, and build a underground bunker / fallout tornado shelter. And then that's justification. You can put a couple of dehumidifiers in there to keep the moisture down. And,
I don't know if the kids would like being down there, though.
Well, no. You just you give them the above terrestrial location, and then you can you can.
Oh, so I put my guns down there. Okay,
exactly.
Okay. I was thinking about
now
putting my 7-year-old down there
upstairs in the guest room. So, but yeah, it's good that they don't like to be down here. It's because this is my spot.
So I have a cool section here in the shop where I'm at, out here in the garage, and I can lock the door, and I've got security cameras, and so that sort of thing. There's no reason for anyone to be out here, and if someone is out here, I know about it because it sends me an alert. But I need to upgrade that a little bit. There's good cause for doing that. Yeah, a vault room would be nice. Sorry, DK. Bunk beds. My daughter's 10, so I don't know if she's going to want to share a room with her 7-year-old brother, but
yeah, my kids are 21 and 24.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my 21 going on 22-year-old informed us a couple of weeks ago that as she was balancing her checkbook, that she should be able to get her own place and be moved out by the time she turns 50.
Yeah, me too.
I was waiting for the number you were going to say, and you hit me with a 50.
So I guess I don't ever have to worry about selling this house. I'm going to have a permanent live-in resident.
Hopefully she's not a stay-at-home daughter. Hopefully she is an employed daughter, right?
Well, she's employed, but a couple of years of college, and they top out just slightly above minimum wage.
Right.
So, yeah, licensed vet tech, so an animal nurse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a little under $40,000 for a 2-year degree. but to go to Michigan State University and get a doctorate, to be a licensed, to be an actual veterinarian, that's going at about $200,000 for that education now. And they still don't make a ton of cash. You got a lot of student loan to pay off, or you cash flow it.
Yeah, we'll see you later, DJ Play Nice.
Where is he going?
He's probably going to bed. Some of the different time zones here.
No, he doesn't sleep. He doesn't sleep.
No.
He's got a concert or some chicks to go see or something.
I'll be right back, guys. Hang on.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say my niece is a internal medicine doctor. She graduated 2 years ago.
Okay.
And she had $650,000 in student loans.
That is crazy.
But she makes $320
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah, that's true.
So she could have that thing knocked out in 4 years if she really
Right.
buckled down and But
Yeah. And that's where I'm looking with the youngest kid right now. It's like, okay, rather than dumping another 30 grand or 40 grand at college, why not just, set her up with a business?
Right.
She hasn't liked any of the ideas that I've floated out there so far, but
they never do.
no.
I'm trying to
They don't know
convince
we
mine to be
know.
a welder. But if I can teach mine how to weld, I'm trying to send her to welding school.
Hey,
Good money in welding.
I loved welding when I was in high school in shop class. I took 3 years of welding. I loved it. And,
plumbing, she can make good cash being a plumber.
Yeah. She's she's talking about engineering and all this sort of stuff. She tests really well and really enjoys school. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to convince her to do something like that. But she has a couple of, as a 10-year-old, she has a couple of paths that she has a couple of paths that we're trying to get lined out, right? Or a couple of different avenues where she could start going in a direction, because going to a university and spending $100K to get a teaching degree is just not really a recipe that I want to support. So if she has something with my parents that there's a direction she could go with that, where she could maybe take over their business. They're not really ready to retire, but also she's 10, so there's plenty of time for that to work out. And then some of the scholarship stuff, there's opportunities for her to get scholarships with a couple different things where maybe she can at least lessen the cost of it all. But
Right.
And then my little boy, who's 7, of course, he's quite a ways out, but same for him. The school districts here, they have these little universities inside of the high schools, and so I know they kind of do this a lot of different places, but it's kind of popular here because you can graduate high school with a certificate in a field to go to work. So you could technically work your way through college if you wanted to as well. And you would be a certified welder, a hairstylist with your cosmetology certificate, or a chef. They've got all these certificates where you're higher employable, where you can either go to work or you can work your way through college making more than, a job at Home Depot or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, plus a lot of those skills are cross-compatible. So
Yeah.
once you learn a job, once you learn a skill in, say, the food services industry, you're going to be able to learn how to work with coworkers. You're going to be able to learn how to work with customers. You're going to learn how distribution, how inventory works. You're going to learn finances, money in, money out, cash flow. So yeah, I feel for you there, DK.
Sorry about that, DK.
Good luck. Good
Yeah.
luck. Boys especially. I was fortunate with two girls. My daughters have been terrific. My sister has 3 boys, and she has literally had the locksmith and poison control on speed dial on her phone since those kids could walk. They are night and day difference. The thing with the boys is it's a slugfest. They will duke it out until somebody is bleeding. What I found with my daughters is it is a whine fest. There is always drama going on, and now they're better that they're older. But when they were younger, mine are 4 years apart, and but they learn very fast that unless it's dire, unless somebody is really going to get hurt, Dad doesn't care. That's why I don't have any gray hair. So it's falling out a little bit in the front here, but you know, 1 or 2 grays coming in the beard. But other than that, pretty easy going.
Isn't this interesting? This is from Emmy. Emmy's been around for a long time on the channel here. He says trades are where it's at. AI is going to wipe out tech jobs and teaching. Isn't it fascinating that that is the exact opposite of what people were saying as little as 8 to 10 years ago? 8 to 10 years ago, people were like, "Oh man, why do you want a bow tech job? Like, why do you want a trade job? Like they're mocked, you know." And then thankfully, guys like Mike Rowe and those guys like brought good attention to the trades. By the way, in the last, not the last presidential election, the one before that, I voted for Mike Rowe. He was my write-in candidate. I didn't vote for anyone who was on the 2-party tickets. I wrote in Mike Rowe, and I wonder how many votes he got, because I don't think I was the only one. But it's just so crazy that like we're at this spot now where like the tradespeople are like, we're winning. The AI is going to wipe out the coders. Man.
Yeah, they're so in high demand, though. I mean, I've got one of those backflows, you know, in plumbing for my irrigation and house water. We have to have an annual inspection, and to get a certified plumber to come in and give me the certificate for the city. I'm like, I can't find one. The guy goes,
annually?
Yeah, it's annual. And he goes,
every year.
Yeah. And I called him like 3 weeks ago. They're like, well, to be able to test it, we got to run your water, and it's freezing out. And I'm like, okay, well, call me when it's not freezing. And now it's April, and I got to get it done by the end. I got to have it done by the end of the month, or else I'll be in violation. These people.
Well, it's bureaucracy. You know, it's all easy on paper when they're sitting in a climate-controlled office.
Right. Don't you know where we live? You know, it's like, come on, man.
Because only a handful of months out of the 12 months can you actually perform the test.
Exactly.
So it's not annual. It's like more like every 8 or 9 months.
Yep. Maybe I'll call him and get a continuance or something, you know.
DK says he's got one that's book smart and one that will give you spicy food and then charge you to use the toilet. My wife and I have moderately different parenting techniques or philosophies, I guess. I teach my kids to be negotiators and like always trying to figure out a way how to get around if they want something, figure out how to get it type thing. And she's like, no means no. And I'm like, no means figure out another way to get a yes. And she's like,
no means not that.
You're raising disrespectful kids. And I'm like, I am raising kids who are going to rule the world one day.
You're not wrong.
Gotta love what you do. Yeah, and so you said this earlier that what you learn at school is about how to work together and like the teamwork and stuff like that. Like, isn't it interesting that like the knowledge component that they're trying to push for so long every day, like why do we need to be there for 8 hours? And then realistically, all you're learning how to do is to work together. Like, let's just go play a team sport, guys. Like, join a baseball team and then call it good. And let's not go to school for 8 or 9 hours a day. Great pay.
Well, I've been out of school for a while, but back when I went, we had full trades right in high school. I mean, we had a woodworking shop, we had a plastics shop, we had metals trades, setting up lathes, we had sand cast molding where you'd get molten aluminum and pour that into the mold, you know, and that's 14, 15-year-old kids doing all of that. You know, not getting your clothes caught in the lathe while you're knurling a handle for a tap set that you're building. You know, layout dye, not spilling that all over the floor or walking around with red or blue hands for the next week because you weren't paying attention. You know, oxyacetylene torches. We had an automotive shop. You could bring your cars in, but back then you could actually work on cars. It wasn't, you know, you need a computer to plug in to tell you that your oil needs to be changed. But now all those rooms have been cleared out and turned into other classrooms, and they rely on a community vocational training. and then they'll load the kids up on buses, truck them off to the local county training facility for half of a day, and that's their exposure. It's most of the programs are pretty good, but it's a case by case basis. The program that I went through, a lot of the colleges got a little upset because we were too advanced, so they kind of were forced to dumb the curriculum down. So when we got out of the high school curriculum, the college professors still had something to teach us.
We're at a really good place right now, guys. We are at a really good place. Burnaby, man, that's too bad this guy can't find a job with all of his training and experience and degrees. I mean, that's tough to hear. Meanwhile, like I'm hiring right now, and I have a hard time finding people. I'm not even getting people who are applying or interested. I'm offering like semi full-time-ish work, and no luck. Yeah, the college thing is really interesting.
Or going back with MC was saying is, a little caveat to that is like maybe they should go work on a farm for a semester. Run that combine.
Wow.
I mean, I've run, like Eagle was saying, I sat with my my uncle in a combine for I don't know how long, and then I worked on a pig farm, a chicken farm. I baled hay, I picked rocks. It builds character and appreciation for a lot of hard work, and it gives you a lot of like how to figure stuff out.
Right.
If something breaks, you fix it. I mean, you just can't call the guy.
Right.
You figure out how to fix it. Because you're out in the middle of a field and you shear a pin or something in your baler, and you don't have any shear pins. You figure out how to fix that thing.
Yeah. Shove it in.
You've got wire, a hammer,
Exactly.
and if you're lucky, maybe some pliers.
Maybe, yeah. While you're getting bit by mosquitoes through your shirt.
Right.
It's a hairpin, duct tape, and some chewing gum. We had that combine up before the hour was over.
Well, when I was a kid, there was no cell phones. There were no smoke signals. If it was broke, you had a couple of mile walk to get back to the farm to get the toolbox to fix it.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. Rub some dirt on it, walk it off, maybe put a little chew spit on it at the same time,
I quit chewing Copenhagen and I went to the little pouches.
Oh, the little
no more Copenhagen for me.
Yeah.
You don't have to spit nearly as much.
Nope.
Hey, so who's DK's talking about Swedish girls now? What is he?
Who's what?
Well, that and the Swedish girls. What did I miss? He learned how to be responsible on a farm in Sweden. Okay, that sounds.
Oh, okay. I was taking that way different.
I think there was a country song about that. But...
Yeah.
Get your mind out of the gutter. Yeah.
Okay, so subject change from Swedish girls and Copenhagen. I am staring down. I'll take your guys' advice here and anyone in the chat. I am staring down a project list for the next couple of months. I currently don't have the next build in front of me, but I have a couple of things that are coming up a little bit later on. There's I can't say too much about it yet, but there is a RIM 700 action bolt gun, or maybe two of those coming in the future. So I'm super excited about those. I can only tell you that one of them will be 308. The other one I won't say yet. Although MC is going to say it's probably going to be 86 blackout. Yeah, it's probably going to be 86 blackout, but because I need 4 86 blackouts because YouTube, right? So that's definitely coming in the works, but it's going to be a while till all those components are here. So I'm going to need something in the meantime. I also am going to definitely build a 1022. I think I'll probably work with Faxon on that and get some of their stuff and try to do a match grade 1022. The ones that I have, I got a junky one and I got a nice one. It shoots pretty good, but I want to see how far can I go with 1022 accuracy. The Ruger Precision, which is up in the corner over here, I don't think you can see it. It is very accurate. When you put the 30-cent a shot 22 ammo down there, it goes exactly where you tell it to. And it's real nice. So having fun with that, but 22 stuff is on the works. And then I have, let's see, what is the other far out project? A 308 bolt action, another bolt action, a 1022. So those are kind of the ones that are coming up more like June, July, August, or July, August, September. It's going to take me a little while to get those together. So in the meantime, I'd like to build something based on some components that I already have. I've got some I'm not going to say numbers, but I've got some 308 lowers here. I've got some GST 9s. I could do another Glock build, but how many Glocks, how many 9mm Glocks do I need? Like, I already have more than I need. But I love building them. They're so much fun. And then I've got several lowers that are polymer AR-15 lowers that I can build and do a couple things. So earlier, Contractor 556 was in here earlier, and 3 or 4 other guys commented, and they said, we would like to see a budget home defense setup for 556 and do it on AR-15 platform, and try to do optics and everything under $1,000, like flashlight, optics, sling, and then all the gun components under $1,000. That's really fascinating to me. I would like to do that. And so that's on the list of something. I also have a 9mm AR-15 that takes Glock. It's set for Glock mags. And so it's an AR-15 Glock mag. It's already sized for the mags. I think I have everything I need for it. But I've got a couple of short 9mm ARs. I think I have an 8-inch and a 5-inch. Those things are so fun to shoot. But I don't have a 16-inch. And given the pistol brace situation right now, I could easily justify building a 16-inch 9mm, and maybe doing some tests on how far out I'm shooting 9mm, you know, like do some 100-yard accuracy, do some reloads for it. So that's an easy one to do as well. So anyway, do you guys have any input or anything you'd like to see, or maybe something I didn't even say, or what are your thoughts on this?
One idea that Bending and Ballistics had tossed out there was stopping into like your local pawn shop or your local gun shop and seeing what's on their used rack. You know, something that's kind of been ratted out, or something in this case where you got a couple $100 into buying the base. Do a couple of tests on it to figure out what the accuracy is. See what you can do, like you say, with the 1022 to accurize it. You know, drop on a Faxon barrel, or change out the trigger, or maybe drop on a Wooks stock or something of that nature. You know, just take something that other people have seen as garbage, but then do a series on let's make this precision and maybe keep that $1,000 budget in there.
A little trash to treasure.
Yeah, something of that nature.
Okay, I'm going to write this down. Every time I go, I have a family member who owns a small chain of pawn shops, and there's a couple of local pawn shops. There's one next to the gun range. I always pop in and ask, hey, do you guys have a junked out 870 you want to get rid of? Or, you know, they never have one. I always ask. I went there just a couple weeks ago and asked.
Right.
Okay, so a little resto mod action.
You know, steampunk at the same time.
Well, I don't know if you've seen Hoffman Tactical's accessory he had for the Orca that he posted on the 1st of April. The walnut accessory for walnut launcher that Tim Hoffman posted.
I did not see that.
For it. Yeah, it's a well produced video. It is he always is top notch with his videos, and so he kind of hit a good one with that one. So it's a for in case your 3D printed firearm runs out of munitions, you have the option of flinging walnuts.
That's fantastic.
So
Burnaby says, my Glock builds are amazing. Thank you. I enjoy them. They're super fun. Means Arms 9mm upper with their bearing delayed system. Ooh, I saw that on Instagram. Now, there's a company that makes side chargers called Gibbs, Gibbz, Gibbs Arms, and I visited them in Arizona, and I think I'm going to work with them and get an AR-10, an AR-15, and an AR-9 and do some side charger action with that. But that's going to be a little down the road. I'd say the budget AR. Yeah. One, Burnaby talking about the Glock builds. One I did not say was I have it's in a video later this week. I've got a Lone Wolf 80% lower. I don't know if you've seen those. Google it. They're ugly. Very pedestrian looking. And and I was thinking go one of two ways with that. Do the budgetest of budget build for a Glock and see how cheap I can build a Glock, because I think that frame was like $40 or $50. I mean, it was nothing.
Wow.
You couldn't even get a parts kit for Polymer 80 based on how much that whole frame came with. They hand them out at 7-Eleven nowadays. And then do this. I have this blemish slide. Do a spray paint slide with this budget, and maybe put like an Amazon red dot on it or something, like just as low as I can, right? So I might. That's also a possibility. ME likes the used gun idea.
Well, or you can see if you could build the Glock out for what you could buy a high point for.
Ooh.
These are good ideas. Okay. Glock.
Yeah, I get a little discouraged. I mean, I was in my local gun shop this weekend, and they had one of the the Fix.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen those.
Saw your video. I saw your
it's
post.
Very lightweight. Yeah, the 308. The owner of the place is like, "Hey, have you seen this one yet?" As he puts it in my hands, and without even having to look at the price tag, I'm like, "This is $3,000 at least." And I rolled the tag over. Yeah, list price $3,300.
No, was that a complete gun?
Complete gun, right out of the box. You just lay the cash down and you go home and you enjoy it.
So that's Q and that's 8.6 Blackout guy, right?
Oh yeah. You can get that in the 5.56. You can get it in 308, or they make it in 8.6 Blackout. One I held was the Fix was by 308.
Okay, and I just make sure you knew that Q is the one who made that.
Oh yeah, yep. And it comes with a cherry bomb, quick adapter for the suppressor, which they also make.
Yes.
But well, you can't see it on screen here, but that 308 pistol that I've got, that POF, that one was close to $3,000 to buy that, and that took me a while to pull the trigger literally and pick up that one.
Trash to treasure idea. So Emmy and DK like the trash to treasure idea. I have a hookup at the pawn shops, but I also go to a couple pawn shops that I don't know them. That's the one right next to the guns, right next to the range that I go. There's in the same parking lot, there's a pawn shop, and that's the one that I pop into if I'm not going to my family members.
Yeah, the pawn shops around me, they're asking above MSRP for used guns.
Right.
Yeah, but they negotiate. It's exactly what my gun shops do when they see me. They know if they get it in my hand. Ooh, so that reminds me, I was at Cabela's because I was stuck in between two places, and there was a Cabela's right there. So what do? You go into the Cabela's, and they had a Henry Homesteader 9mm on the shelf, and I did not buy it. Wow. I should have. I have a little bit of regret for that. The one that they had did not. It was like Smith & Wesson mags, not Glock mags, which is probably why it was there. But have you guys seen the Henry Homesteader 9mm?
Mm-hmm.
I've not held one. I've seen the reviews.
Yeah, there's no good reason for this gun. I just need it and I want it.
Right.
It's so heavy. it wouldn't serve a purpose really for me. But another thing that takes Glock mags is kind of cool. Let's see what else.
I was talking with a friend just yesterday in another gun shop, and talked gauge revolver. Rob had one shot a couple of years ago. Okay, are we back?
Oh no, we're losing.
I'd like
you.
to pick up a 28 gauge revolver.
Oh
yeah. So yeah, Rossi had a 28 gauge revolver for a while. Apparently, it only lasted half of SHOT Show one year, and then it came and got confiscated because it was a shorter than 18-inch barreled shotgun. And apparently, the rumor goes that they had it on display for the morning, but by the afternoon, it was gone, and it hasn't been cataloged or listed since.
So did it had a stock?
Yeah, it was a stock. It's like you've got the circuit judge that Smith & Wesson makes. It'll take the 410 or the 445
right.
long Colt, and then Taurus has the
the
what
governor.
do they call that? The judge, I think they call that.
The judge, yeah.
Or yeah, the governor, yeah, one of the two. So Rossi and Taurus are basically the same company. So they had done a rifle version. They have that still of the 410 45 long Colt with a stock on it with a longer barrel. But 28 gauge, there's no metallic cartridge, there's no rifle cartridge, there's no pistol cartridge that will work in that round. So when they made a 28 gauge version of it, their barrel was shorter than 18 inches, which disqualified them from being able to sell it in the country. So they would have to sell it as a shotgun with a revolver cylinder.
Okay, so I've seen some rifled or some long barreled revolvers, we'll call them. Seen a couple of those. That's interesting. So a 28 gauge, huh? That'd be fun, yeah. Man. So Burnaby, are you talking about Lone Wolf? Is that what you're talking about here with your prices? Interesting. Man, that's too bad. I think what's the barrel length on shotguns? They have to be like 16.5 inches. But if it's imported, it has to be like 18 or something. Oh, 18.5.
Yep,
oh, yeah. 18 and 16. I'm thinking rifles. Yeah, 18.5. But it's measured from the breech. But on some of them, you would see how people would maybe want to measure the barrel outside of the receiver. So like that's real tricky. If I were cutting one down, I would make sure it's plenty long.
Yeah, and 18 inches is the minimum. That's why they go 18.5, just based on whose tape measure they're using.
Yeah. Some DeWalt one versus some Milwaukee one. We don't want any discrepancies here. Meanwhile, with Shockwave and Henry Axe are okay. Exactly. That Shockwave, I've never shot one, but it looks kind of scary.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I've not shot them either. Yeah,
a lot to hold on to. Okay, so I'm thinking about that. Thinking about that Glock versus Hyde. These are a couple of good ideas. We might see this for an April and a May and a June project here. If I just put these 3 projects on my list, the cheap Glock, the 9mm 16-inch rifle, and then the trash to treasure, or maybe a contractor style, home defense style 5.56 could be an option too. Okay, all right. Well, that's good. Thanks for the help, guys.
Yep.
High quality ideas here in our little focus group. Kind of ideas
full of it. You know, sometimes they're full of ideas.
Full of it. Fantastic. Okay, anyone else you got any other topics for us here? We learned about spray painting. We talked about red flag laws. We figured out the college situation and tried to send everybody to a trade school. And you guys helped me figure out my next project. So successful successful evening here.
Well, and likewise, I've got several of them sitting on the bench that need to be assembled. That 8.6 of mine is still about 50%.
What are you missing?
Kind of, yeah, have shuffled priorities around a little bit.
What are you
Ambition.
missing to finish your 8.6? Well, I'm sorry. Say it
Just
cut
the
out.
ambition.
Oh, the ambition. You got everything to
The
put together.
ambition.
You're ready to go.
To finish it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any ammo
I've got
for it?
everything. Yeah. I've got powder. I've got bullets. I've got the barrel. I haven't bought any ammo, but I've got enough components to build ammo.
Okay.
Today or this weekend's project was going to be building a way to trap bullets, specifically 8.6, because I hear those will skip out through water jugs and disappear into the Texas landscape.
Yes, they do. They
Yeah. So,
with your little ricochet sound, pretty wicked.
So for $15 worth of pieces that I had laying around the garage, I think I've came up with a solution for catching bullets. So
like in your shop,
we'll have to put that together. What's that?
Like a inside the shop gun store style bullet trap?
No, not really that, but something that you could put outside that's better than just a series of milk jugs.
Okay.
Yep. But I want to try that. I know two people that do have the in-shop bullet traps, but you're not going to retrieve the bullets out of those too easily, and you're going to beat them up. So you're on the right path of trying to catch it in water, to be able to see the expansion and grab one with the petals that open.
I need to just get myself some gel. That gel's expensive. When you see all these guys that have those gel in their video, I mean, some of those are like $80 a piece, depending on how long they are. Your name.
Those guys get them for free, so.
Well, you don't get them for free when you hit 20K. I can tell you that.
No. Then they get all the, like the skeleton looking ones and with the blood.
Those are real expensive. I Googled those. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Right.
Your name is correct here. It's a 6.5 Creedmoor that is puffed out to accept the 338 bullet. You got to chop it and pop it to get it to fit the big old 338 in there.
Yeah, if you watch Eaglerun's videos, you'd know that right now.
Got a lot of videos out there for you. Your name, you can learn all about it. There's even the short ones in case your attention span is only about 45 seconds. I've got videos for you on the same topic there as well.
No disrespect.
Yeah. I've seen him in the channel before. He seems like a good dude. Tools and Targets channel always has the coolest gel. Oh, the clearest gel. So there's I think Hootie Who was talking about this because I think he tried to mix up some of his own gel and like you couldn't see through it, and then someone sent him some and it was like really clear. But like if it traveled and it got too hot when it was traveling, that the gel wasn't coming out clear. He was talking about this, but it could be that they're making their own gel so they can control the temperatures, I believe, so that they don't get dark. So, the gel, if it's not clear, it's kind of not worth having. Other than I guess you could still get
there's another Michigan guy that Sam, the Revolver aficionado. He's got a video out there of his ballistic gelatin, how he cuts out the lead, cuts out powder, chops the gelatin back into small little pieces of gelatin, and then I drop out again. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. He like recycles it.
Nope.
And you're gone again.
Frozen again.
We lost him. MC is held hostage. There he is. He's back.
You just got to put another quarter in that machine and keep it running. I threw another handful of quarters in.
I blame Whitmer.
Yeah, Gretchen heard you talking and
greedy Gretchen wants all of her bandwidth.
Turned your internet off. Okay, so he chops up the gelatin and reuses it. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. Yeah. And so depending on how good of a job you are with removing the bullet fragments and the lead out of it, kind of determines how clear the gelatin's going to turn out when you're done.
Okay.
And yep. So
Interesting.
yeah, there's different videos and different low-tech ways of doing it. And the ballistic gelatin is just a controlled means of doing testing. It's not really real world. Back when I did a lot of residential furnace work, I would take the furnaces out and then just shoot them with different guns, 380 ACPs all the way up to SKSs. And you go out different 300, 400, 500 yards, and you can see the bullet performance as it goes through that steel, as it opens up, going through each one of the sections of a furnace. You can do the same thing with pieces of 22 gauge, 24 gauge, or even 10 gauge sheet metal. Having, access to working at a sheet metal shop, comes in handy with all the drops and the scraps that we have. You just, of course, want to make sure that you distance yourself far enough away from the steel so that you don't end up with any spall coming back at you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was at I used to be a member of a private range down the road here, and I'd like to get back out there again, because they have a hot range where you just kind of go up and the next guy says whatever, and you can set your targets up, you can shoot whatever you want. And I remember one day another guy next to me, I guess, was a little bit of an angle, and I got hit in the shoulder by a unbelievably light piece, tiny piece of fragment. And it was shocking to me how hard it hit me versus how big it was and what it weighed. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it was shocking how hard that little piece of metal hit me. And of course, it didn't even cut my jacket or whatever. It didn't even cut me, but it was so much force for such a lightweight flake of metal.
Right.
I'm like, wow, that just, man, that was the ricochet was pretty traumatic. I'm like, man, that's shocking how hard it hit me.
Yeah, our gun club, we just put a 400-yard range in a couple of years ago, and of course that's a quarter mile to walk down to check targets. So we've got some steel plates hanging down there, and so 400 yards away, you're pretty safe distance that you're not going to have too much bounce back at you. Plus the targets are hanging off from steel plates on an angle, so that they're kind of angled down on an angle. So as the bullets come in, the plates can tip and move around, and then the spall is going to fall down.
Do you guys have golf carts to go down and check your targets?
The club members have actually brought that up about the club buying and providing provisions to go down range. And of course, there'd be drunken golf cart racing and rally courses through the archery range, through the woods. Yeah, exactly. That would be, 1 weekend. And then now what's done.
Man.
But yeah, normally if it's dry, we've got the range crowned enough that you can just drive a vehicle down there and set targets.
I checked out your gun range, man. That thing looks awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I've been a member 30 years or better there.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
That thing looks great, man.
So that's one of the other things I've been doing is working on building a dedicated rimfire and pellet gun course. So I've got a 100-foot by 200-foot area that I set aside and working on clearing out the trees. I've got to roll stumps yet, finish pushing up berms. I've got some trusses that came off a job site that I may or may not get used on that location for a pavilion, for a covered. It's 24 feet worth of 24 by 40 feet worth of trusses that we can use. I don't know if that's necessarily going to fit exactly there. My wife is eyeing the trusses for a carport for the children that haven't moved out yet. So,
the wife's gonna win.
Yeah, well, I neglected to buy a lottery ticket for Friday's Powerball. So if I would have ended up with $100 million, I would have just built me a Walmart supercenter and not put in the shelves, but had a 100 by 200 foot concrete structure with 40-foot ceilings that's been air conditioned, and then just call that an indoor range.
That would be cool.
Luxury. luxury.
Well, every time we go shopping, my mind starts wandering of, okay, well, I can put the archery over here, and we can do the handguns over here, and then we can do the long range marksmanship stuff up there.
Yep. Yep.
And the lady at Target's like, "Can I help you?" I'm like, "No, just looking around."
Getting some ideas, inspiration.
You don't want to know what I'm thinking.
Well, that's why I worry about, this, the way the government's going right now with backdating laws, and these red flag laws where there's no due process. We'll figure that out later. Well, the next step after that is going to be the thought police, and when that happens, they're locking me up just because of the wheels that turn when they're unattended.
Mm.
All right, DK, we'll see you later, brother. We're gonna be we'll be out of here shortly. What was the movie about the thought police?
Minority Report.
Minority Report. Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's the end of the slippery slope argument where you're talking about like, well, why can't I? Like there's a my neighbor's crazy, like he's legitimately crazy, and then like a week later he ends up doing something bad. You're like, well, I should have turned him in, but like. The other part of that is, well, my neighbor one time mentioned that he was going to, shoot the light out of the city light pole, like he mentioned that he might do that one time. And then all of a sudden this guy's being arrested for something he didn't do. He only thought about doing. Wild.
Yep.
We're at a great spot. Right now. And then I have people coming in.
Cool. Yeah. It's been great chatting with everybody.
Yeah, you put ammo in your video and everyone's like, why do you have so much ammo? And the next guy's like, that's not enough ammo. And I'm like, I have a supply, okay? Like I've got enough to do what I need to do. They're like, this guy's a hoarder. He's hoarding. This is why you can't find ammo. I'm like, bro, that's like 2,000 rounds of 22. Like that's a summer's worth. Like that's not a hoarding amount of 22. My kids will shoot through that by August.
See my video. You've seen my video with the 6.5 Grendel stack.
Yes. You paid $30 a piece for those, right? So I think I bought.
But I need brass either way.
I'm trying to think. I have 10 boxes, and I think I paid $26.99. I think so, just a little bit cheaper than that. But if
these
I
are from the local gun shop.
You can't find them anywhere. So
and my local guy, has got them. Didn't have any problem with me buying 5 boxes on Saturday, and of course, because I'm paying cash. But I need brass to reload anyway, so that'll get me a good start.
Yeah,
and that black, that 123 grain and in 6.5 Grendel seems to fly really nice out of my uncle's rifle and also out of that Bear Creek upper that I picked up.
That's what mine is too. Hornady Black 123. Yeah. And then I bought the Hornady ELDM in 123. I got a box of 100 of those to reload. So I'm just going to put the same bullet back in there that I shot out of that brass.
Yeah, and I haven't worked out which powder I want to use for that yet. I've still got to do some load testing and get some ladder testing with that. I got some ideas from Bending Ballistics on where to start at anyway with the ladders for the Grendel. So but I got to empty out the factory cartridges first. Yeah,
he's helped me a ton. I'm considering switching my Dillon out.
Yeah.
I haven't reloaded definitely since I double charged or whatever I did to that A6 Blackout, whatever I did to it. I'm thinking about MC froze. Sorry, MC. Give it a second here. Moo, are you a reloader?
I reloaded 20 gauge and 12 gauge like 25 years ago.
Right.
I sold my Mech Junior and
I
haven't. I want to, but the new house we moved moved in here like 2 years ago, and I really don't have the room to make a reloading room or anything like that. And I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I could, but I really want to, but I don't. To answer your question, I don't reload right now.
Yeah.
MC says your Starlink jammed up.
Yeah.
I almost got Starlink like last month, but I did the app where you take your phone and you look up, and I have too many trees.
Oh, Elon said no.
So I had to like cancel it because where I live, Comcast or Xfinity has like a monopoly. You can't, in my zip code, you can't get anything else other than Xfinity or Comcast.
Yeah.
And so I was, pissed off at them, and I'm like, screw it, I'll get Comcast. I'll break even in 1 year, with the cost of everything, and the download speeds were way higher. And then so I don't know how they knew it, but they called me like, hey, how's your service and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm pissed. And they cut my bill in half and increased my speed by double.
Thank you very much.
So I'm like, I guess I'm okay right now.
Yeah.
So I canceled my Starlink, and they refunded me in like a day, because you got to put down that down payment. But
Did they give it to you in Tesla stock or
in shitcoin?
Yeah.
You got Dogecoin for yours? That's what I should have said. That's what I should have said.
No,
Yeah.
it was real dollars. Whatever.
No, my sister actually invested in Dogecoin when that first came out, threw a couple of grand in it, rolled it up to about 90,000+, cashed in and bought a Tesla Y.
Nice.
But
good for her. I
she's
did
the
real
type
good with
where-
Dogecoin. I didn't drop 90. Didn't make 90K, but I did pretty well on Dogecoin.
Nice.
Yeah, she's the exception to the rule. She typically comes out smelling like roses. I get the opposite.
Is it Nancy Pelosi? Is that who it is?
No.
Oh. Yeah, what powder does Normalizer's here? Well, I think that's Normalizer's first post. I didn't know he was here. 86 likes a couple different things, mostly the accurate 1680, but you can use CFE BLK or Reloader 10X. A couple other choices you can go with, but please stick to published load data, Mr. Normalizer. Do not put in what someone said on Facebook or on hey, Roots and Rizo's here. What's up, buddy?
Roots.
So I'm thinking about he made 7K on Dogecoin. Man, I think I made like 4 or 5K. You guys all did better than me. I thought I did good. So where did that go?
No, lately my only investments are in brass and lead, primers, gunpowder, durable goods. I've got friends grabbing silver and small gold and in odds and ends. I'm like, if the economy crashes, the next currency won't be Chinese, it won't be Russian, it's going to be 9mm.
Yeah. So I'm going to keep the Dylan to run 9mm.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna keep it for. But I think I'm gonna try to get with Area 419 and get that rotary 419. I'm in love with that thing.
I use just a single stage press for my rifle cases, and then my Dylan gets the straight walled. Just the 357, the 44 mags, the 10mm, the 40s, the 380 ACPs, 9mm. The stuff that is just straight through blasting ammo. Where I want precision and I'm worried about marksmanship, that is a one process, one step at a time, meticulous adventure.
I guess I want to sit down and just blast out 100 rounds of 8.6 blackout on the Dylan, and maybe that's not the best idea, but I think the next best thing would be that turret press from Area 419. I think that would speed up the single stage. It would be an upgrade from a single stage, but not quite the loss of control that you get with I never had any trouble with 9mm. I've made thousands on that thing, and I've only been reloading for a couple years, but I thought I was being careful, but I guess I wasn't careful enough. And what is this one? Hippocris. I've seen him before. I don't know how to say the name. Haven't touched the coins because they're made to control the economy. So that whether or not that's true or not, if you want in on that, it's going to fall. The economy's going one direction regardless of whether or not the coins are there. So I don't Hipparchus. Okay. So I don't disagree with you. I mean, I don't know that they're specifically there to control the economy, but I do feel like if we're getting out of, like, if you're getting out of the dollar and you're jumping into silver and gold, like, you know, like we know all people are, this is just a digital version of that. I mean, I'm not a big crypto guy. I'm not trying to stand up for crypto. Don't put me in a position where I have to defend crypto. Won't do it. Lead is the new gold.
You had investment opportunity and took advantage of it. So who cares?
Yeah.
Capitalism.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that there's,
Yeah.
but I mean, are they going to turn around later and be like, okay, so you have to use this, like, so the U.S. dollar is no longer tied to oil. Like, you guys know that, right? Like, the U.S. dollar and the oil is no longer the currency. So now the BRIC countries are paying for oil in Chinese yuan. So the U.S. dollars missed the boat on that. Like, our dollar is going to start going down. It already has in the last week. Like, that's not good at all. Do you guys follow any of that?
I'm not very deep.
So Google the petrodollar, and you know what the BRIC countries are, right? Brazil, Russia, BRI, BRI. What is the I? Must be, is it
Probably
India?
Italy. Oh, India, maybe.
India, because Italy's EU.
And
I don't
Indonesia.
remember. They're a NATO country, so they're not BRIC. But Brazil, Russia. Anyway, Google the petrodollar. Look at Iran. There it is. Thank you, Emmy. Russia,
Iran.
China, Iran, Brazil, and there's another one. But they're all now paying for oil in Chinese yuan. And they used to have to use the U.S. dollar, and no, they are no longer using the U.S. dollar.
Oh, you know, I did hear that last week. Yep.
Yeah, that just happened, and it's already had an effect on our oil prices, our gas prices at the pump, already having an effect.
Yeah, roots and rhinos there. My uncle or my cousin or brother-in-law that we built that equipment barn, now he's transitioned into building chicken coops. So he's using the rough sawn barn or wood. He's got some of the leftover steel, putting the tops on those, and so he's trying to jump in on this chicken craze.
Well, Roots and Rizos is in on the chicken craze, and he's going to pay for his new Dodge pickup and eggs. Okay, so back to this with Hipparchus. If you're getting out of the dollar, you're giving your financial sovereignty to whoever makes the alternatives. Man, I don't disagree with you, but I don't. You guys have a comment on this?
Do we really have any sovereignty when we don't have any borders?
I mean, I guess you could say that, or you could also say that, like if I'm not necessarily, I mean, I'm an American, obviously, but like, I'm not. I don't know, Hypocrite. You're making me think of hard things here. I don't disagree with you, but I also think that there's more to it than that, and I don't necessarily. I've had some anarchist stuff in my mind since I've moved to Texas, because like I don't fly an American flag at my house. I fly a Texas flag at my house. Like it's been that way for the last 20 years. And not that I've given up on the U.S. Like I am 100% bought into the American dream and all that. I'm not out on that at all. But I also know that like we're not really the ones, we the people are not the ones who are running it. So oh, we just got real dark on this, guys. Let's
well, we're the one that finances it though.
Yeah, it's our tax dollars, right? Okay. okay, so he's going to pay for his truck with eggs. I think that's. I was reading I love the books that are like post-apocalyptic survival books where there's an EMP or some sort of thing that happens. I love those books. And there's a book I just finished. This guy works at a tire shop, and it's like 24 hours before the EMP drops in before the EMP goes off, and the economy is already real bad. And he sells a set of tires to this truck driver, and the truck driver pays him. He gets like 50 gallons of gasoline and 12 chicken breasts for these tires. And I'm like, man, that's so yikes. I don't want to think about that. Like unrefrigerated chicken breast coming in for your tires. Like, oh, put that on the grill right now.
We're not that slimy.
Yeah. See, I don't disagree with this. In fact, I even made moves with my company where I purposefully did not take on a couple of projects that would have left me a little bit skinny financially, even though long term they would have been good for my company. So I'm growing very conservatively and very small. I'm not picking big leaps. Like 2 years ago, 5 years ago, some of the times I've been like, boom, we're all in on this and it's going to make a bunch of money, but it's not going to make a bunch of money for a couple of years. Right now, I'm not aggressively investing in my company, and thus that investment money from companies like me that's not being put out there, that's not good either. I mean, because you have business owners who are not taking financial risk to grow their company. That means you're growing or dying. So
well, our organization, we build infrastructure. We build water plants, wastewater plants, and these things are 2-3 years out in the planning, and they're 2-3 years out in the construction. So
right.
Now you get the ball in motion where you've got a set schedule, you've got set equipment, you've got set timelines. Especially dealing with municipality, with water, wastewater. You can't just shut off the spigot and expect your customers to just wait until you're ready and your plant is built. So you've got to hit the ground running and moving. So getting equipment on time, getting the manpower to put things together. The company I work for, they try to cash flow everything and try not doing loans, but it's difficult when you're running multi-million-dollar bids and businesses, and you take 2 or 3 years to get paid. I definitely I have an understanding for some of the pressures that they're going through as that large of a building business operation and owners. And workers too. Again, I played service manager for about 3 or 4 years and ended up back in the field just out of necessity of there's not the skilled workers out there that we need. 50 plus years old and still climbing ladders and 60-pound relief valves carrying up them, and it's again 100 pounds of steam I get to go play with tomorrow morning.
We need to make sure you're rested for that.
It's second nature.
So Emmy's correct. The dollar is still a major player around the world, and the sky is not falling yet. Agree.
No.
But I'll say that where we are right now is better than where I thought we were going to be right now in the spring of 23. I work at a place where we build tractor trailers on a skeleton crew. I'm doing more with less employees right now, not because I want to. I would love to have a couple people come help us out. I actually think I want to hire a CEO. I think I don't want to do that anymore. Can I hire a CEO and not completely go off the rails here?
I think Bernie Madoff is paroled. He might be available.
I don't know. What's it pay?
Well, it depends on if Bernie's in charge of it or not.
Can I do it virtually?
Yeah, I just I don't know. I'm not doing the things that I want to do with my company. I'm doing all this other stuff. That's not what I want to do. I want to do the low end job.
Oh, I hear you.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
there's a lot to be
before we,
said for being the guy that carries the toolbox.
that's kind of I have that's my game right there. I want to be the one on the ground talking to the people doing the thing. You know the deal.
Yeah, my ideal dream job is driving the beer cart at a country club.
You need bigger tits.
I was gonna say, how short is your skirt?
Well, no. I'm going to be the driver. You know, I will get eye candy to
You're not the talent.
entice
Okay.
the customers. Yeah. Nope. I'm just going to be the the sober, responsible beer cart driver that doesn't put the thing into the drink.
You have $4 in tips every day.
No, we'll get some attractive person working out of college to help sell.
Now you're thinking.
We got Emmy fired up over here. Look at him. He's laughing at us. Okay, so when you're driving, like I'm driving around in the summertime, and I see these guys working on these lawn care rigs, and they're they're working hard. They're mowing lawns, and then you pull into the gas station, and they're hanging out in the parking lot under a tree, eating their lunch. You know, and I have jealousy. I have legit jealousy. I'm like, I would do that job. I would mow the grass and eat my lunch under a tree.
I used to be that guy.
I would do it. I did it when I was younger. I love that.
Yeah.
Like I have so much respect for that.
Dug trenches for irrigation through clay and brick.
Yeah.
But you went home at night, didn't have a worry in the world.
I know. Yeah. And meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out the next thing while I'm driving around in between the next stoplight, trying to invent the next thing so I can keep everything, keep all my plates spinning. Just keep them all going. A couple of them fall off. You got to pick a new one up. And
Well, the analogy that I came up with is imagine yourself sitting in the middle of a trampoline with balls of various sizes and various weights that you keep trying to push away from you so that they don't come to you. So right. Because they'll fall and then you don't have to worry about them again. But if you're in the middle of a trampoline, they're all coming to you, and it's all your responsibility to keep a hand on them and keep them moving. So that's kind of about the analogy I came up to when I was manager, is that you've got all of these things that are all gravitating towards you, and it's your responsibility to keep them moving and keep them in play.
I think whack-a-mole is a better analogy. It pops up and you hit it and you go to the next one.
Well, unless you've got a human resource department, and then there might be somebody filing against that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not my employees I'm whacking. It's all the problems I'm whacking. I like my
vendors,
employees.
Shipping.
I was looking up some stuff. I have 4 of my 9 staff members. If you take my 4 longest, the shortest who's been with me is like 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I am the economy. Well, I don't know about that, ME, but thank you. We are not that big of a company. All right. Well, did we solve the world's problems tonight, guys? I think we figured out a few things.
I think on the upside, we didn't make them any worse.
maybe approaching, but not solving.
True. All right. So you'll never guess where my wife is tonight.
Michigan?
3, 2,
at Cabela's.
1. She's at a Taylor Swift concert.
Oh.
Yeah.
Me and MC both go, oh, at the same time.
So her and her sister scored tickets. I was going to try to get extra tickets and flip them. That way I could like pay for her tickets, right? Like if I get 4 and they take 2 and I sell the others at a profit and then she goes for free. She wasn't into that. She wouldn't let me buy any extras because it's disrespectful. Which I whatever. I don't mind making money off of Taylor Swift though. I would have been totally fine with that. But anyway, the concert apparently just started like 45 minutes ago. So she's not even going to be home for like another 3 hours. The kids are already in bed. That's why I was like, you know what, MC, we should do a live stream tonight.
Yeah.
just
Well,
us.
well played.
Yeah.
Well played. All right. Well, Two Life Mo, do you
Well,
have a
appreciate you
channel or an
inviting.
Instagram or what's up with your do you make videos? I have not been on your channel.
No, I've got like 3 videos up. I don't do anything.
Okay, so you're not a
Later,
channel
Kurt.
maker. You're just
I'm
in the
not-
community.
I'm not a content creator. I just jump on live streams and create colorful commentary.
Okay, so you help other people with their live streams with your
I
wit
think
and your not. Okay,
I think
well, you
so.
are welcome back anytime. I've sent you
Okay.
my information, so we have contact information with each other. And MC and I have been talking and texting and emailing for maybe 6 months or a year, maybe. Has it been that long? MC, are you frozen?
I think he's frozen again.
We lost him. Well, we've been Oh, there he is. He's back. We've been talking and texting for a while, but and emailing, mostly about A6 blackout stuff. Yeah. But I'm glad you're able to come on. This was your live stream debut, is that right?
For me?
Ever live.
Yes.
I think MC's first ever live stream. He was a rookie. Rookie.
He's
All right, anyway, we'll see you later.
Well, I had to get the showroom built first.
That's right. You're prime now for some live streams. You need to do some of your own. Have us come on your show.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to do dual streaming.
He's got the good background there. He's right set up for live streaming.
Yep.
Prime background. You're all set.
Yeah, well, we got the tool bench sitting over here, so that's a little more cluttered versus the workbench that's over there.
I dig it, man.
But it looks good.
Do some live streams.
It looks good. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing with the live streams. Like, I don't really know if they fit. Like, I don't know if they really fit my channel, or I have no idea. I just do them for fun. I try to interview some of these people at these companies who I can learn something from and share that information with everybody. Tonight was just more of a Q&A hangout, but in the future, I've got I have Shogun Customs coming on. He does all the stippling for like Glock frames, all that polymer stippling. A freaking artist. He's coming on here in a couple of weeks. And then are you familiar with Marine Gun Builder, MGB?
Oh, yeah.
You guys heard of him?
I don't think so.
So he's like the god of the P80 building stuff. Like, he's the one who really made people like take it seriously, be a craftsman, polish your stuff, sand it, wet sand it, like make it perfect. And I realized that I was not putting enough effort into the first couple of ones that I built by watching his stuff.
I should have watched his videos before I did mine.
Yeah, so he's coming on here in a couple of weeks. Going to be on the live stream. Hope to learn a couple things from him.
Nice.
But we've had ballistic people on and ammo people on, and
is Sunday at 9:30? You going to be your time?
No, just whenever I can fit it into their schedule and my schedule. I mean, it's baseball season for the little boy right now. I'm head coaching his team.
Nice.
I'm kind of over the big projects that I have with work, and I've got this like 2-month schedule here, and then it gets crazy again for me in June. June, July, August, I'm crazy again, and then it slows down again, and then gets busy again back in October, November, December. But I'm in a little lull right now, so there'll be a couple of more live streams. Just if there's not baseball practice, then we'll go. Yeah, he's the OG of P80 on YouTube, and all his stuff was taken down. He barely has a channel right now, but he's got this Freedom Crew University where he's got all these instructors in, and you can like pay to be a student and take the classes. So his YouTube channel has mostly promotional stuff on it right now for his Freedom University, but good dude, obviously a veteran, and really inspirational to help people do better work, be a craftsman.
Nice.
But
that's a lot of it
sure.
is being able to pass those skills and those trades along.
Yeah.
As creators, and especially on this platform, we're a little bit limited on what we can actually do and what we can show.
Did you like my screen
So
where you
that's why
can't
I've
show?
got this.
Dude, I totally copied you. Did you see what I did in that last one? Where I flashed to the music where it said, "Hey, you can't see this part of the video." I totally copied that from you.
Yep, I seen that. That was clever.
Yeah.
So,
Like, you
but
can't see this part.
I watch different YouTube creators, and rather than stopping and editing and pausing the video, it's just we'll drive point home. You can't see this, and we're gonna keep on rolling with the camera, and then maybe they'll catch on.
Yeah. When my daughter's ready to build her Eaglerun23, what's YouTube gonna think if her and I build that together on a video? I think that might be a Rumble only. That might be a Rumble exclusive right there.
Wait, so how old is your daughter now?
She's 10.
Okay, my daughter was maybe 12 when we built our first AR.
So she built the Grendel with me a couple months ago.
Nice. I'm like, don't let this spring fall out.
Yeah.
And I made my own tool for the back pin.
Oh, the one under the plate
For the safety pin.
Yeah. That's that one will pop out on you.
Yeah, I tried getting my kids to help change the oil today, and couldn't even do that.
Well, see, my daughter, she loves like learning how to do, like I change her brakes, and she's like, I want to learn how to do it. I want to see it. And then she in her car that I bought her, she's got an oil pressure sensor that keeps throwing a code. And she's like, let me see how to do that. And so I'm like, unplug this. We got the 23 millimeter socket, she's like, awesome. Let me do it, And she wants to know how to do everything.
See, but my kids have come to the conclusion that if they asked to want to make sure that I did, they want to back there. It'll work. Yeah, my kids would want to be seeing that the work was done and that there weren't any spare pieces laying around.
Yeah.
Trust but verify.
Exactly. Now, you did put the oil back in, right? Oh yeah, yep.
That's a key spot right there. Okay, so Two Live Moo doesn't have any socials to share, but MC, if someone could put a link for MC over in the comments, he's got a nice little channel. You've actually been growing pretty well.
Yeah,
I'm not
we're up to a little over 1,000 subs. So
there you go. You're gonna get monetized. You got the watch out routine?
I'm thinking not.
You gotta not turn it on.
No.
Yeah. I went ahead and turned on my little reloading channel. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I cut over you.
Yeah. I'm kind of leaning towards if I were to try to do anything monetized, roll it off script. Go with a YouTube, or do keep this platform. So if it gets taken away, if it gets demonetized, if it gets shut down, it's no financial loss. Run everything off to a website. If I were to do something, gears, patches, whatever, take that to another platform. Use this as the billboard. Use this as the advertisement. Use this as the net, I guess, to collect the interest, and then redirect the stream into a different location. If I were looking to do anything financially off from it. Initially, being just a little over 50 years old right now, this was kind of a rough draft, or a trial run, something to do when I get into retirement age. If I retire early, can I have enough of a following? Can I have enough creativity built up You know, can I have enough ideas rolling that, you know, I can sustain this? And, you know, if I can roll an income or I don't know if it would necessarily be an income, but if I could roll a break even with it to
Right.
perpetuate the, you know, the concept and the ideas, then, you know, I think that's kind of every YouTube creator's, you know, ambition is we're kind of going to do this anyway. And I think YouTube knows that and plays that to their advantage. And then about the time you get, you know, huge and monetized, then they'll go backwards. They'll find something that they didn't like with your stream, with your channels. They'll yank the rug out from underneath you, and you'll start all over again. Unfortunately, I've seen that play out way too many times with too many different people.
Well, it's been 6 months since I've had a strike.
So, you know, I've been doing I've been doing just trying to get shout out to CRS now with the plight that he's in. So I kind of been copying Flying Rich and DLD After Dark with grabbing audio bites, grabbing the sound clips and tagging that to a video. And then you can tag that, or you can follow the stream up backwards to the source. And then that should highlight, you know, highlight what CRS is rolling through right now.
You know what I find highly annoying? You made a ton of those videos. That was awesome. So it's been 6 months since I've had a strike on my channel, and usually whenever I start growing, I get a strike. But we added 10,000 subscribers in the month of March, and no strike. So if you can't see me at some point, follow me on Eagle Reloads. That's not a backup channel; it's the reloading channel. But should I get removed from YouTube, that's where I will be. Twitter and Instagram, Eaglerun23. You can find me there. And I noticed that two things that I noticed. Louder with Crowder. I don't know if you guys have watched him. He has made his own platform, and he brought on Mr. Guns and Gear. Did you see that?
No way.
No.
Found that really interesting. So this is a platform alternative that's headed by Crowder, and he brought a gun guy on with him. So now you pay for your Mug Club membership, and you get content from those 3 or 4 guys. Kind of like what the Daily Wire did, where he brought on Michael Knowles and, you know, his other, whatever the other guy's name is. And so they're on the Daily Wire. If you watch a channel called Backfire TV, I don't know if you guys ever seen him. He's a Western shooter hunter guy, has really interesting commentary on stuff. He's a retired attorney, but he's not an old guy. He might be younger than me. And he is starting Backfire TV. And so I emailed him and I was like, bro, can I get on the Backfire TV network? Like, I'll switch over. And so what's going to happen is people are, you know, what I don't see happening is every single person you follow pay $3.99 a month on their individual website. But what I do see happening is people migrating to a Mug Club, a Daily Wire, a Backfire TV, and then those are your guys. Like, you pay that $9 a month, and those are your guys. Like, you no longer are on YouTube or whatever. So I don't know. I find that really interesting. I emailed him. He didn't email me back, but like, man, I would jump on Backfire TV for sure. Leave this YouTube world behind.
Well, you know, I look at the analyticals. I'm sure you look at your analyticals too of your viewership. You know, how many are subscribed viewers, how many are unsubscribed viewers, and you know, and even with the chat too of you know, how many people are interacting with you that are subscribed versus unsubscribed, and you know, there's just a lot of fish swimming past that stream, glancing at you, but not really sticking around. You know, and even out of the subscribership with me, just a little over 1,000. You know, I'm sure there's different interests that people have followed me in particular based on, you know, maybe it's some of the building stuff, maybe it's some of the rifle stuff, maybe it's some of the pistol stuff, maybe it's some of the shotgun stuff. You know, I've got a little bit of a diversity out there just to see, you know, where it sticks. And then that way I'm not really stuck into just being this guy. It's all just going to be
Right.
pistols or all just going to be shotguns or whatever. It really literally could be almost anything. And so that keeps entertaining as well as diverse. But if you go back into the statistics and you're looking at where your viewers are coming from, at least from what YouTube is saying, that there's just a lot of people out there that, out of 40-some thousand views on one of my Beretta videos, I don't have 40,000 subscribers. It's just.
So what's your percentage? What percentage is subscribed?
Well, I'm not sure on that. I know the percentage of views are still a little under 60% for the amount that have the potential to view.
So I'm going to give you a crazy
let's
number.
see.
99% of my views are unsubscribed. 99%. And it's been like that for years. It's been as low as like 94, 96, but it's at 99% of my views are unsubscribed. Which it doesn't matter. I don't care, but
well, yeah, same here. And so what I'm trying this week is I'm taking some of the videos, mostly the help CRS type stuff, these little shorts, 30, 45-second type stuff, and I'm recycling them. So I've taken the one that's already gotten, 2,000 or 2,000 or 2,500 views, and then I scheduled that out to
oh no, we lost him again.
Time of the week. So now I'm doing that to see what happens.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But,
well,
I don't know. It's kind of a touch and feel and try it out.
I wonder who Miami's talking here. Sometimes life just gets in the way. Nothing personal. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
All right. Well, I guess we can sign off here. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you over in the chat for questions and comments. Hope to do it again with you guys sometime. You're welcome at any point. I'm going to sign off on the stream here. You guys hang out for 1 second, and I'll put you backstage. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Eaglerun23. We'll see you next time. It always takes so much longer